So that means half my speech is dead now. So that's all the funny stuff. So on to Ant anyway. Ant's always been into Hayley's. Throughout my youth, about once a week we had to go through a dance routine from Anthony Hayley Wilson to dirty dancing that they've been practising for ages. At that point I thought this would always be a civil ceremony when I was still doing this. But he met a woman. I've had an awful lot of experience dealing with Ant. I've been putting up with all my life, and I've always wondered how somebody getting a relationship with Ant can cope with spending all of the time with him. His first ever girlfriend that he went out with for a while, not long after being with Ant, went on to murder somebody. Quite brutally, it was quite serious, not funny.
It did.
Usually when you see it, you think, oh Jesus, what causes such anger, but I have to say, I felt a bit sorry for her sometimes. So me and Ant have had a few drinking issues, stem from the love of drink and Ant's over-competitiveness. For his 18th, by the time the first guest arrived, Ant was unconscious, hugging the downstairs toilet to not welcome anybody whatsoever. More recently, we woke up one morning with a load of empty spirit bottles and Kaz going off her head because somebody ate all of George's baby food. I don't know what the competition was, but I think it was you. And then very recently, on a holiday which a random, I can't remember what the holiday was, random holiday, Ant was nearly thrown out of a casino at 8:30 in the morning after a Jaeger bomb breakfast for doing something very untoward to a fruit machine. It wasn't Vegas. No, it was something else. Anyway, these shenanigans will probably rear their head every now and again now he's married, but there'll be no more of that thing that everyone gets when you wake up. You're next to somebody and you don't know your name, or where you met them, or why they're dead. Ant's a very moral person, and everyone knows genuinely he's a moral person. But what a lot of people that haven't lived with Ant don't know is actually he frowns upon pornography. I think it's because he's concentrating. It's not a good sign. I love Ant almost like a brother. But I've always been disappointed about one thing with Ant. From when the mum was pregnant, I wanted to call him Spider-Man, which I still think would have been top. I always wanted a superhero brother. Now I've never been as disappointed as recently when I've written that dream off forever. Going to Hayley's hen do, Kaz did a quiz with a load of questions for Ant, but then Hayley answered.
What's he saying?
And there was a few interesting things in there. One was he'd rather punch a nun than you, Mum. Yeah, so that's good, isn't it? The other was, what's your most embarrassing moment? And the answer was, Hayley knows the story. Do not tell anyone. I've never heard this story before. And it was this point when I ripped off my superhero aspirations for Ant. So they're over at Mull.
This is a bad one.
And if anybody doesn't know, my dad's got a nice place in Mull that's on the little beach there, there's a port, and all that's in the village is newsagents, a pub with a little room at the back that's a restaurant, and it's very locally open with sheep everywhere. And they were having a nice walk along the side, and suddenly they spotted a body washed up on the beach. So I went, shit, shit, shit. Rather than the superhero thing going over and seeing it, he ran off screaming. And ran in the pub and said, help, help, there's a body on the beach. And so all the burly fishermen, all the locals, everybody that's in the village all came running out, ran down to the beach, and they got there, and they got to see a rock on the beach. I can't see why that's an embarrassing story at all.
Nice.
So, you won't know Hayley, but Ant actually demonstrated his capacity for romance when he first met you. I was in Australia visiting Kaz, and I woke up one morning with a text off Ant, and it said, "I've met this girl, she's alright, but she's got massive tits." For whatever reason the relationship started, it blossomed from there. I started to know Hayley was right for Ant when I found out that as part of her job, she can deal with difficult children. But then there was a particular moment, I remember when we lived in Reddish, and I can't remember what game we were playing, Monopoly or something like that. And we're halfway through the game, and you said 6 words, which made me think, "You're meant for my brother. You're put on this earth for my brother." You said, "I'm not bothered if I win." That's when I knew we were made for each other. So there's a couple of bits of marriage advice that I thought were applicable. One was, always argue, rather than keeping it bottled up. So you got that one down. Big tactic, no, you're alright. And also, get on well with the in-laws. I've not spoken to Kaz's mum for 6 months. But we get on, I just don't like to interrupt her. Now, I was speaking to Ant yesterday, and I've been jealous for a while now about fancy travelling around the world holiday that you're going on. And I was really disappointed to find, actually, you're not doing it anymore. And you're staying local, going to Wales. So what's your plans whilst you're on your honeymoon? And he said, "I'm just going to Bangor for 3 weeks." I'm sorry, that's the most inappropriate one. I'm avoiding eye contact with a few tables here. Anyway. So today, you get a wife who's beautiful, caring, and can cope with you. And Hayley, at least you get a lovely new dress. That's it. I would like you all to stand and give a toast to Ant and Hayley. Nice. Someone take it off me.